Hello everybody and welcome back. As always, I am Mateo311 and this is your channel for everything VR related. Today, we're going over all of the new VR game releases coming in the month of September. Now, after the recent release of Firewall Ultra and Crossfire Sierra Squad, we could really use a win. They really just didn't live up to the hype. So hopefully the games we're going to go over today are something you're looking for, and when they release, they're a lot less disappointing. Now, there are, of course, links and timestamps if you want to skip ahead, but before we jump in, this video is brought to you by today's sponsor, Swordsman VR, officially releasing this Friday, August 31st for the Meta Quest 2. It's the only realistic sword-fighting melee combat game available on the platform. Sin Studio spent an additional 2 years making sure this is a high-quality port that delivers both excellent physics-based combat and challenging AI. And that's not all, because the studio still has some future updates in the works right now. So if you're looking for a sword fighting game on the Quest 2, go ahead and check out Swordsman VR with the link down in the description. Now, a quick little disclaimer, all of today's release dates either came from Meta, the game's developing studio, or the Steam database, and sometimes the information is just inaccurate, or dates are always subject to change, so don't quote me on any of these. Now, additionally, I really want to know what game you're hyped for, so as we go through today's list, just let me know down in the comments which one looks the best to you. And first up, we have Survivor Man VR, The Descent. Before Bear Grylls, we had the survival expert Les Stroud. He used to strand himself in remote locations for your entertainment, and now he's going to be your personal survival guide. In Survivor Man VR, you'll crash land on a snow-covered mountain, and you'll be forced to make it to safety before you freeze to death. Hopefully though, with some skill, ingenuity, and the guidance of Les Stroud, you might make it out of this one alive. So if you're interested in real-world survival scenarios, or you are a fan of the show, you might want to check this game out. Now, I was personally a huge fan of the Survivor Man TV series, but if you never heard of it, that's because you're most likely a lot younger than me. Regardless, I'm looking forward to this title, but if you prefer something that you could play with your friends, we have Inverse. Inverse is an online asymmetrical 4v1 survival horror title. One player gets to be the null monster and hunt everyone down, while agents will need to work together and restore power to the control terminals so they can escape before they're torn to shreds. Basically, this is Dead by Daylight with more of a sci-fi theme, and it does appear that you'll have the option to fight back rather than just running for your life. Now, I will be covering this game in the near future, so if you're interested, make sure to subscribe. Now, if you're interested in something a bit more lighthearted, we have Toss. It's time to go bananas and swing yourself around a pretty insane jungle gym in the clouds. This new age platformer offers up over 75 different levels, perfect for mastering your agility, timing, and overall gamer skills. Now, if you're looking for something with a bit more emotion, we have Behind the Frame. You'll be painting your way through a variety of different puzzles, which will unlock more of the game's interactive storyline. Behind the Frame was originally released on flat screen back in 2021 and currently has overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam. The VR version hopes to add to the overall immersion, and this looks like the ideal game for those interested in interactive storyline. But for those looking for some more action, we have the high-speed on-rails shooter Gazzlers. Play as a rusty old robot embarking on a train ride to save the machine god. Unfortunately though, you'll have to battle hordes of insane Gazzlers on your way there, which in my personal experience with the demo makes for an extremely fun time. I know on-rail shooters are so VR 2017, but if you enjoyed titles like Space Pirate Trainer or Mother Gunship Forged, you should have a good time with this one also. Next up, we have some really great ports coming to the PlayStation VR 2, and the first one is the sword fighting title Broken Edge. Rather than aiming for realism, Broken Edge utilizes an extremely unique fighting system. You could select from a large array of historical fighters, and this title has a fantastic art style. The one-on-one online PvP can be quite fierce, and it looks like PlayStation VR 2 owners are soon to join in on the action. Next up, we have the closest thing to The Legend of Zelda in VR. RUINSMAGUS as you take on the role of an apprentice magi, and you'll be going on a series of dungeon runs, while experiencing both an action-packed adventure and upgrading your powers and skills in RPG fashion. The combat is fast-paced, fun, and fluid, and my only complaint is that this game gets a bit repetitive. But let's move into my most anticipated game of September, and that's Hellsweeper VR. From the makers of Sorrento VR, this action-packed combat game has you descending into hell. As you face down demons, you'll be wielding deadly weapons, commanding telekinetic forces, and spell-like abilities designed specifically for VR. The action looks extremely intense and gory, which is right up my alley. The developers also recently announced the co-op mode, so now you get to slay demons side by side with your friends. Now, I'm also expecting we'll get the PlayStation VR 2 version of Alvo this month. It was supposed to come out last month, but got delayed. I did play it. I will have some coverage coming. It's looking pretty good. It's basically VR's version of Call of Duty. I did play it briefly back on the Quest days, and my complaint was it looked ugly. It looks a lot better on the PlayStation VR 2. So if you're looking for a shooter like Call of Duty, it should be right up your alley. And it should wash your mouth out right after Firewall Ultra and Crossfire Sierra Squad. Press F to pay respect. Now our next title is Out of Hand, because things will get out of hand quite quickly. Playing as a strange hand creeper, you could jump great heights, leap impossible lengths, and shake hands from really far away. Out of Hand is an extremely unique, made for VR platformer, which looks like it'll not only offer up a challenge, but maybe a few laughs along the way. And September's final game announcement is the world builder Islanders VR. This minimalist strategy game allows you to populate an island from scratch. If you enjoyed the laid-back, chill experience of something like Little Cities VR, it sounds like Islanders will be right up your alley. It's some good casual fun that'll be instantly rewarding. And that right there was our list of September games. Now I want to hear down in the comments what game you're most looking forward to. Obviously for me, it's Hellsweeper VR, but there are some other cool titles on there. Gotta admit, Out of Hand looks pretty damn cool. Anyway, let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, consider subscribing. And I'll see you guys on next time.